Autobots, transform! One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of George Reviews. I am the 80's Transformer fan, and this is a special episode of George Reviews. I'm celebrating my 5,000 subscription to my channel, and I also want to talk about my toy giveaway, and I want to sit down and do an interview so you guys can get to know the guy behind the camera. You see my hands, you hear my voice, but this is the face that goes with it. But anyway, I want to say thank you to all my subs from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank you for all the positive comments, all the negative comments, all the thumbs up, all the thumbs down. It made all this possible, because without any of that, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. So my beautiful wife is going to come in. She's going to sit down. She's going to interview me. She's going to ask me some questions. She's compiled questions from comments over the years and questions over the years, and some questions she came up with her on her own. So you can get to know me, because you watch me all the time, 5,000 of you, and you might want to just know a little bit more about the guy behind the camera. So sit down, stick around, and please enjoy. Thank you very much. I'm ready.
5,000 subscribers. How do you feel?
It feels good. It's been a long time coming. It's a milestone that I thought I probably would never reach in the beginning. But I'm happy, and I want to thank everybody again from the bottom of my heart for helping me reach 5,000. It's huge for me.
Is your channel everything you thought it would be at this point?
No, it's nowhere near what I thought it would be and where I want it. I had hoped for more subscribers by now. I hope to put out more content and more variety by now. I've been trying to slowly add some diversity to my channel, and but I done had setbacks of technical and in life that have held me back a little bit. But I envision my channel being a lot more techy. I don't know how to explain it. A lot more, just a lot more going on.
What does your channel mean to you?
It means a lot. It gives me a platform to get my opinion out there, for one. It allows me to connect with other collectors, secondly, and get to know other people out there in the collector community. And third, I get a chance to show off my toys.
What made you pick 80's Transformers fan?
Actually, it was just a starter name, like just to get my channel going. I was like, I'm going to start. I'm going to put some content out and just see where it goes. And I meant that a long time ago. I meant to change that a long time ago. If you notice in my reviews, I'll lead off as George Reviews, because I'm trying to phase 80's Transformer fan out. Mostly because it's just too long. It's too long.
Has that always been your username?
No. For my first review, this long gone, my username was Shadow Flight. And that name actually that was my video game username. I was always huge into the Mortal Kombat, playing online, and Call of Duty. And my name was Shadow Flight. If you ever see Shadow Flight, people use it now, they got it from me. Shadow Flight was my my username for, was it PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3? And then people started copying it. A true story. But I started my YouTube and I was Shadow Flight.
How did you build your collection?
I told you, I started off collecting Playmates Star Trek figures. Then I jumped into Star Wars figures, like the Power of the Force. And then I was getting some retro figures. And then started buying the 12-inch Star Wars figures with the marker on those. And then I went from there. I kind of cooled off collecting. And then a friend of mine came over one time, and he wanted to borrow a VHS tape. And I went to go get it out of the closet, because it's the kind you have to keep in the closet. And I get the videotape, and my Transformer Devastator fall off from my childhood Devastator. And he was like, "Oh, June." I'm a junior. They call me June. June, man, Devastator, is that the one we played with? I was like, yeah, that's one of them, because I had a few Devastators when I was little. And he was like, man, you know those things worth money. And I was like, worth money? And at the time, me and my fiance were trying to move. And he was like, man, them things go for hundreds of dollars. And I was like, hundreds of dollars? So I actually tried to sell. I still had a G1 Starscream, G1 Megatron, and G1 Devastator at the time. And I took those toys to a local trade place, Gibraltar Trade Center here in Michigan. The one that I think is the one in Taylor. I can't remember. Because we had two of them. And I took it to sell my toys. You know, make maybe a couple $100, help us moving expenses. And then I get there, and I see all these dealers and all these toys, and I'm like, so anyway, I'm trying to sell my toys, and I actually got gypped. I sold my Megatron. My Megatron, it wasn't complete, but he had the barrel and the main body was intact. And a guy actually traded me my Megatron for a reissue. Then the reissue was complete, unopened, unused sticker sheet. I was like, man, my Megatron old and beat up. Like, I'll trade you, yeah. And I didn't know my Megatron was worth more than a reissue, that bastard. At the time. Yeah, he got me on that one. Then I also did the same thing with another guy with my Starscream. I traded my Starscream, and I actually gave this guy $20. Gave him my Starscream was missing the missiles, but he had the launchers and everything else had the landing gear. And I actually traded that guy Starscream for Starscream, and gave him $20 on the first Takara reissue Starscream before it was Takara told me. I think it was released in '99 or 2000. But I got the 99 2000 release Megatron and the 99 or /2000 release Starscream at that toy show. And then I wound up actually keeping my Devastator, which is like over there somewhere. I mean, if you can see it, I don't know. But yeah, I actually kept my Devastator. And then actually that Devastator is probably a trivia question. Actually broke hook, so the hook with it is like a replacement hook. And actually I could have just replaced the toy, but I wanted to keep most of my childhood hooks, so I took it apart and put the crane piece on my old piece to keep most of my old Devastator, so it's mostly still my old Devastator intact. And after that, I told myself, well, I'm gonna start full-blown collecting. So the next guy I got was Optimus Prime. I at a local toy shop called Time Travelers in Berkeley, Michigan. They got all type of old toys. They got so much shit in there. It's like a fire hazard. Like the fire marshal just shut it down. It's worse than my basement stuff, just everywhere. But I got Optimus Prime there, and I got it because they had layaway, and I paid like $260 for their box Optimus Prime, which I no longer had. I've gotten better ones and paid less. So I wound up getting rid of it. So Optimus Prime is less. Then I told myself at that point, I'm just going to buy the leaders, the top guys. You know, my favorite. I'm going to get a Grimlock, get a Magnus, get a Galvatron, get a Cyclones, get a Soundwave, get like the top guys. So once I got a few of those, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the 84 guys. And that's it. 84 Transformers. And that's it. And once I got all 5 Dinobots, I was like, well, you know, I want to start getting combiners. I'm just going to get the combiners. And that's get all the combiners, and that's it. So I started getting the combiners, and then it turned into everything. And at one point, I was trying to buy sealed and packaged. And I know a lot of people collect sealed and packaged, but I learned real quick that it's actually kind of dumb. You know what I mean? I know people, I got stuff mint sealed and packaged. So a ton of stuff sitting around in front of me that I ain't never opened, mint sealed package. Guys that I had for years and never opened. So I'm not trying to crack on it, but I thought I could do more damage collecting buying loose figures. You can buy more. Like I quickly learned that a mint sealed Transformer at the time in the early 2000s, you can get like Ironhide or Ratchet or Wheeljack for like $300, $400 back then in a pack, as long as it wasn't graded. And so but I was like, but I can get them loose for $80 mint complete, and I can tinker with them and play with them and all of that whenever I wanted to. You know, I'm chilling off work, I just grab a toy and transform a couple times, put it back, look at it, pose it, change the poses on the shelf, and you know, stuff like, well, Transformers don't pose that much, but But it made more sense to me to start buying loose Transformers. And I'll grab a mint seal if the price is right where I can to kind of, you know, just make it look nice. And I'll try to throw in some video pics of some of my seal stuff and loose stuff before I get out of here. But to me, it makes more sense to buy loose because you can actually play with it, man. You can actually touch it. My kids can share in it. They grab some stuff, and we take them out every now and then, and we play with them, even the rare ones. I'll bring them down and just be careful because what is the collection worth and you can't touch it? You know what I mean? I understand, like, if you buy one open and one seal, that makes perfect sense if you have the money to do that. But if you got one of those collections, just like, got every G1 sealed, man, like... Okay, you know, I don't know whether I congratulate you or laugh at you. You know what I mean? It's impressive, but it's kind of corny at the same time. And I'm not trying to trip on nobody. I'm just letting you get to know my mindset. I much rather have it open. I really would. And I got some, like I said, I got some still sealed things, but I plan to open this stuff up and review it all on video. I just need time to get to it, and I got time. Quarantine time, like a lot of this stuff, I'm getting out of there. It's coming. So, like I said, I'm going to do my whole 84 guys, and I'm going to go from there. If I got anybody sealed in the box, we're going to open it up. Like, if it's been sealed since 1984, I am going to open it up, and that's a promise. So, that's just a little bit more about my mindset, you know what I mean, and the things I think about toys and toy collecting. So, it's at my channel, not my channel, but my collection actually started with Star Trek and Star Wars figures, and now I'm the 80s Transformers fan.
What's your favorite review that you've done so far?
Of my reviews?
Yes.
It's easy. It has to be Battle Convoy, the pre-Optimus Prime. I shot that pretty much in one take. I think I nailed everything. I didn't make a lot of mistakes in that video. Like a lot of videos, I'll say the same thing 2 or 3 times. I'll say Galvatron instead of Megatron or something like that. And I think I nailed that one. And it took a long time for that review to kind of take off and get some views. And it was important for me to really nail that review because at the time, I don't think there was any other Diaclone Battle Convoy reviews up. Now there might be like 2 or 3, and I still think that is the best Diaclone Battle Convoy review out there, period. Mine. So I'm real proud of that.
What toy or character do you have the most versions of?
Let me see. At one point, it was G1 Starscream. I had 11 different versions of Generation 1 Starscream, and they were all different. And now it's Optimus Prime, without a doubt. I gotta have at least 20 different versions of G1 Optimus. I mean, like, they're different. I don't mean, like, some collectors think or feel that, like, Optimus Prime, when he has a number 2 in the trailer, and then the next year they made another production run, he had a number 3 in the trailer, and then a number 4, number 5, and they say, well, those are different versions. They're not. They're just different production runs. They're the same version. But I actually have physical differences in my Optimus Primes. So he's by far the one I own the most versions of.
Do you consider yourself a toy expert?
I wouldn't say that because that'd be too egotistical. But I can say I've forgotten more about toys than most people know and most reviewers know.
What is your take on Masterpiece Transformers from the beginning to now?
Oh yeah, that's a good subject. When they first made MPO1, Optimus Prime or Convoy, whatever its designation is, I was in love with it. It came with die-cast, it came with rubber wheels, it came with chrome. It was a 12-inch scale figure, it had a light-up feature, and I thought it was amazing. And then I think we got Starscream, and it was like smaller. Then we got Megatron, and Megatron was a 12-inch scale with Optimus Prime. By today's standards, that Megatron is crap. But it was like, okay, well, maybe Starscream is just that little. Then we got Grimlock, and Grimlock was little also. Then they decided that the 10-inch base, where the bigger guys would be, like Optimus Prime would be 10-inch, and then they would work down from there, was going to be the new standard. And it was like, okay, so I had to live with that. Then they retooled the jets. Then I had to buy those jets again, but I sold the old jets off for a profit. So and it was like the line was all over the place, but it was starting to stabilize. And then they turned around and went with a cartoon accurate theme, which I think is like, it's okay, but I'm not slave to the cartoon. Like, I enjoyed the G1 toy cartoon hybrid, and then they just went all cartoon. Then they went back and started to reissue guys cartoon look, and there's no way I would go back and buy those guys. I see people buying them and they got both and be like, I love them both. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'd rather spend my money somewhere else and advance my collection than go back and buy those guys. So I love where it started, was kind of happy in the middle, and now I'm just scratching my head because now that they went anime accurate, they're coming back and making special edition like Generation 1 versions, which is I don't know. So and if you notice my collection, if you notice my reviews, I don't even have them all. Some stuff I just pass on it. I was real excited for the Masterpiece line, and not so much no more. I get them when I can, when they on sale. I try to wait for a sale, and that's pretty much my take on that. I was very excited for it, and then I was sort of excited for it, and then unless they drop a really, really sweet one, and I don't think they're doing combiners anytime soon, so I'm not excited. I don't think like what's coming out next. Okay, you know what? I'll take that back. I would love to see Mirage. Mirage is one of my favorite Generation 1 Transformer characters, and I would love to see Mirage, but please, please put rubber tires on that guy. Those big Formula 1 tires need to be rubber, and I don't see them doing that. So that's my take.
Do you consider yourself a legitimate toy reviewer?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I didn't at first. Like, for the first couple of years, I was kind of like coasting. I was just trying to get material out and see where I was at, engage myself. I really wasn't taking it serious. I really didn't have a large audience. Then I started getting comments and words of encouragement. And actually, I got a lot of negativity too, which spurred me on. I want to talk about the positives first. I had a guy, and I'm sorry I can't remember his name. He commented on my review. He said, great review, and he said he could see that I really worked hard. And he talked about being a reviewer himself at one point, and he gave up on it because of the difficulties in reviewing, because it can get real hard. When you see me bring out toys and put a toy in just for like 2 seconds, you know, that's a lot, because I have to get the toy, bring it out, especially with Transformers. Transformers are so difficult to review because you have to transform them back, and then if you compare it to another Transformer, you transforming that toy and transforming it back, side by side, photos. But the one guy, when I was kind of getting fatigued with reviews, he said he recognized the effort I put in, and I knew at that point, if one guy recognized it, so did another. Even if everybody didn't comment, but some guy saw what I was doing. And on the flip side of that, I've had very negative, very nasty comments come my way, racial comments, and that kind of spurred me on too. At a point where I was kind of tapering off, and I worked harder to put myself at a point where I consider myself a reliable and legitimate reviewer.
I personally know you love variants.
Yes.
What attracts you to them so much?
Most variants I love are the ones that I didn't know about when I was a child and they were out there. Like Pepsi Prime. I never knew people were running around with a Pepsi Prime. And then I grew up like, wait, what? That was out in 85, 86, and you could win it? I never heard anything like Cookie Crisp Jazz. Where you can win a Jazz Transformer through Cookie Crisp cereal. I ate that cereal every day. I watched the commercials with my Saturday morning cartoons, and I didn't know about it. So variants gets me real excited, and I've tried to track down all the variants that I can. And if I see a variant, I'm going to go after it.
Our son is heavily into playing with your collection. How would you feel if he followed into your footsteps?
I would love it. I've been trying to get these guys into toys and collecting. My older son, he's sort of into Transformers. He's 8 going on 9, but my younger son just turned 5. He loves toys. Any toy I bring out, he'll just come and get a toy off the shelf like, hey, that's a collectible, and he think it's just a store or just storage. He just pluck one up and walk away with it.
Okay, let's talk about toy reviewers. What's your top 5 and why?
My top 5 toy reviewers, it varies for different reasons because I collect a lot of different things, so I watch a lot of different stuff. And I already mentioned Pixel Dan and his love for toys that come across when the reviews, and he's a very charismatic reviewer. And he's got one of those voices you can just listen to, so I like Pixel Dan for Master of the Universe. Anything else, like most of his content, anything beyond that, I'm not into a lot of the stuff he into, but I love his Master of the Universe. So I'd say Pixel Dan, then I would say Booga ACBA. He reviews mostly action figures like Master of the Universe and SHA Figure Arts, like that. And I like him because he's all about the figure. When his intro comes on, it's like, this here's for these real collectors. Like, I just love his little personalized intro and the way he comes across. So after him probably would be Graham the Collector 75 for Transformers. When I first got on YouTube, I started watching his reviews. He's a British guy. And he just loves toys. He's not trying to advertise for Big Bad or whatever toy store it is to send him the next free toy. He just talks about what he loves. And then if you pay attention to his reviews, it's like he's not even worried about the camera. He's more worried about his toy. He's like sitting there enjoying the toy over trying to go public or be some big time reviewer. And it's just natural, and I love it. What's that, 3? Also, I like T-Man 978 because he seems a lot like me. He seems like down to earth, and he's just doing toys and just doing him. And he talks about a wide range of toys, from Legends, Master Universe, Figure Arts, a lot of stuff I'm not even into, and I watch his reviews because you can just tell he loves the toys for toys' sake. Michael Mercy, he is so charismatic, and he talks about all Transformers, G.I. Joe, and everything stuff, figures I used to have, and like his collection is so vast, and that's where I see my collection getting to one day. It probably could have been there if I didn't have all these kids, but yeah, Michael Mercy would be my 5th favorite reviewer out there.
Can't do a top 5 without a bottom 5. What's the bottom 5?
Bottom 5 reviewers. He's trying to get me in trouble. But this is getting to know me. So, and bottom 5. I'm gonna tell you about the bottom 5 people I subscribe to. I actually subscribe to these people, and I watch their reviews. The first one to come off in my mind is probably Optobotomus. When I first got on YouTube, he was one of the main people I watch, and I'm still a subscriber to this day. But the guy seems like he's so busy trying to promote the next company to send him a free toy, whether it be Big Bad or TF Source or whatever. He just doesn't seem like a legitimate collector. Like when I watch his reviews, he don't love the toy, and I watch his reviews because he gets a lot of high end toys, and I buy a lot of high end toys. And he'll get it earlier before it gets to the rest of us, and that's kind of how he got it. He got it for free, and I think it matters whether or not you pay for your toy. And you can give a legitimate and a real toy review, but it's different when you had $500 to get you through the week, and you went in your pocket and spent $2 on a toy. So I think yeah, Optobotomus be the first guy that he's super famous out there. He's doing well, but he's kind of like at the bottom of my review. So I would say Optobotomus. And I might as well stay on the West Coast. Sean Long, because like he says the same thing in every review. And Like, I remember I used to watch him for Hot Toys. I collect Hot Toys, and the guy was always getting them, you know, and I wanted to check them out before I spent my money, like $200, $300 a pop and up on those figures. So, yeah, he's one of those guys, like, I first thought he was, like, really hot and good at what he does. Like, man, he always got the latest toys and all that, and, man, he's on fire. And, let me see if he shine long. Another guy. This guy, he could have easily made my top 5. And he could have easily been left off my bottom 5. But I'm going to say MGO. MGO seems real cool. I subscribe to the guy. I got the notification bell on when he drops a video. But every video is the exact same. If he wouldn't say, if you had your back to the screen and he didn't say the name of the toy, you would not know what toy he's talking about. And that's what I mean with some of these other reviewers. When you hear the love in their voice, they'll talk about the toy and reminisce and bring up stuff with you like, yeah, me too. But when a guy like MGO reviews a toy, it's just the same recycled thing over and over, second verse, same as the first, and he's always in the exact same mood on every toy. You don't know if he really love it or really hate it. I mean, he does a excellent review. I hope someday I could be on his level. But it's just like he had no personality in his reviews, you know. Like, he has character but no personality. Ben Stein Collectibles. I mean, when his reviews come on, it's a straight commercial across the board, man. I mean, he's servicing TF Direct so hard, it's kind of crazy, you know. Excellent reviewer, but he's so busy advertising the toy, and he never met a third-party toy he did not like. So yeah, not one of my favorites, but I check them out. But and when I say these guys, they're not bad reviewers. They're excellent reviewers. They just like, these are the big time reviewers to me. They're like, I think get a lot more attention than they deserve. That's all I can think of for now. We can move on to the next. So okay, I want to talk about a few things on my own outside of the questions, and you know. The questions were great, but I want to tell you a few things about me and my channel, how it operates. First of all, I've never bought a toy to just put it in front of you and review it, and because it's popular, because it's hype, and I think I'm gonna get a lot of views. Like, I would never do that. When I review something, this is my toy, and I bought the toy because I think I'm gonna like it. A lot of times I'll be like, it's crap. I'm gonna tell you if it's crap. I went in my pocket, spent my money. I'm not a rich guy. I don't have a paid sponsor. Be nice. No, but I review my stuff, and I can't stand it when a toy reviewer, you just know, you know what I'm saying, somebody gave him that toy to review it, and he tried to hype it up, and you just know it's not a great toy. And that really burns me, and I don't think I could ever do that as a reviewer. Just buy something to review it just because everyone's hyped about it. Then you'll see these guys turn around and try to sell the toy to the people who watch their reviews. I think that is so tacky and so classless. Like when Copa came down on everybody and we're telling people that any reviews aimed at children, they won't be getting paid for, and you just saw these major reviewers on YouTube, and their videos still up. You just saw these, they were crying like bitches. Like, then one guy, I don't say his name. One guy, he was like, well, don't even get on here, started saying I should get a job. Like, I figured this guy had no job the whole time. He's a professional reviewer. Anytime you're doing 5 reviews a day, 30 reviews a week, this guy, he has no job, probably living in his mom's basement. And I ain't tripping, you know, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But me personally, I could never do that. Like I said, my toys are for my personal collection. I had a collection before I started reviewing. I just wanted to review my own toys, like I stated earlier, kind of a video documentary of my toys that I always look back on if I ever got rid of my toys or something like that. That's kind of another reason why I started reviewing. But never would I try to pawn my toys off on you that I really didn't want in the first place. That's how you know these guys not collectors, because they didn't want the toy in the first place. They got it to review it to make money. And I'm not knocking their hustle, but you can't be my top reviewer if you don't even love toys. You know what I'm saying? You doing it because it's a good hustle. So anyway, I wanted to talk about that. Now I want to talk about my style of review. Like my whole review, when I started reviewing it, my channel was meant to go head to head with variants, because I love variants. I wanted to put this version against this version because I have so many variants and versions out there, and I was just amazed that there was so many different versions of toys out there. And that was my whole premise on toys. Then I kind of evolved it to like the unboxing channel. I wanted to be the guy that unboxed, and as always, I wanted my reviews to be raw, unpracticed, unrehearsed. And a lot of times I kind of got away from a lot of that, but that's what I wanted to base my channel on. One day I was watching one review, and two reviewers were beefing. And this one guy says to the other guy, well, every asshole out there is reviewing Transformers. And I'm like, every asshole out there is reviewing Transformers. So that's why I decided to add the unboxing. And not just do comparisons, but add unboxing. I know it's tedious and a lot of people don't like it, but you can always fast forward. Even if people talk about the length of my videos, you can jump straight to another point. You know, and if you think you missed something, you can always go back. I don't see why people complain and you can just fast forward straight to it without the loading or anything, you know. So I wanted to be that guy that unboxes and that guy that do comparisons, just to put my own stamp on it, because like I think his name was Grim, and I think he was going off on Optobotomus, and he was like every asshole out there can review Transformers. And yeah, so I was like, you know, I kind of want to turn the corner and do something a little bit different. So I wanted to be known as the comparison reviewer and the unboxing reviewer. I don't know if I actually pulled that off, but that's what I was aiming for. And I wanted to talk about buying and selling tips for toys. I want to start off by buying. If you're buying vintage loose Transformers, I would tell anybody, only pay what you want to pay. You know what I mean? These toys aren't going to disappear. They're not going to go away. It's going to always be another rare mint box or rare open mint complete. Take your time and buy what you want when it's right for you. You don't have to complain about the guys over on eBay or the guys over on Facebook Marketplace. Pay what you want to pay. Take your time and buy what you want. And if you only pay the price you want to pay, you will get that toy for your price. Okay, and more buying tips. If you buy loose Transformers or loose any figure, my advice to you is buy complete. Know what you're buying. Research everything it comes with and buy it complete, because a lot of times the accessories are more than the actual figure. Like for example, I got a Triptychon over here. My finger on it. Triptychon. I was at a toy show. A guy pulled it out. It was mint. He opened up the battery compartment. The battery compartment was super clean, shiny, and Triptychon was awesome. He sold it to me for 20 bucks. So I tried to track down all the accessories that he came with, and I wound up spending like $130 on Triptychon's accessories when I could have bought the whole thing for like $110, $120. So at that time. So thought I was getting a good deal. Buy complete when you can. I don't care what it is. Master Universe, Star Wars, Thundercats. Try to get the entire toy complete when you can. And also, my buying tip, I prefer to go to a toy show to buy a toy. Because a lot of times the guys at toy shows, all they do is toy shows. They don't online sell, and they don't know about all the different prices. And it's not a global market. It's a local market. That guy's probably going home to feed his family, and you can get a better deal, to me, at a local toy show. And you get to pick up the toy, hold the toy, handle the toy, and see if there's any cracks or breaks in it or whatever right there on the spot. Then a lot of times with that, a tip on top of that tip, these toy shows will be like a weekend show, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And if you're not really pressed to have a figure, you can come back Saturday and Sunday and see if it's sold. And the guy, most of these sellers don't want to take the toy home, so you probably get a better deal on a Sunday at a toy show than on a Friday, unless it's a one-day show. Then you can hang around toward the end of the show when they're gonna pack up and gotta take that stuff home. And that's why I got a lot of deals at a lot of local toy shows. I prefer to buy what I can see with my hands on it. People could doctor it up on eBay and any other little site where they sending it from across the country or out the country. But I do buy online. I buy out of the country. I bought toys from everywhere. I've sold toys everywhere. Speaking of selling toys, when you sell a toy, the same thing, the reverse applies. Don't sell your figure for less than its value. That's my main advice. Just hold on to it unless you press for cash. And if you ever press for cash, put that same figure on multiple mediums. Like you can put it on Facebook Market. You can sell it on Instagram. You can sell it on eBay, of course. You can Craigslist, offer up, and I'll put that same toy and see whoever hit first, whoever bite first for the highest price. That's who get it. I mean, because when you selling stuff, you selling to make money. So that's a brief selling and buying tip. I kind of want to get more into that in another video.
Let's talk about the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. What are the rules? What are the details? And is there a deadline?
Yes. There is a deadline. Okay, let me get to it. As a thank you for helping me hit 5,000 subscribers, and also to promote my upcoming reviews of 1984 Transformers, I want to ask some questions of you for you to answer in order to win a Generation 1 Transformer sealed in a package. And it will be a reissue, not a vintage. You're not getting none of my vintage. But you can get a Takara or Hasbro reissue, and at the end of the contest, I'll put a list up for the Transformers that you can pick from. Most likely it's going to be Walmart, Optimus Prime, Soundwave, Starscream, or Takara, or some Takara reissues, something along those lines. So, but anyway, I've already asked the first question. The first question is, you have to tell me the very first Transformer that I owned as a kid. So that's the first question. And I'm going to check off this list of Transformers. And it's 25, in 1984, Hasbro dropped 25 Transformers. So you're going to have to watch 25 reviews to get the answer, and that's my way of getting people to watch my reviews, you know, shameless plug. But anyway, so I'm gonna run down these guys, and you answer the 3 questions, and you win a Transformer. I'll ship it to you for free anywhere in the world, no matter where you are. And the rules are, by the time I do Brawn, because Brawn is number 1, I guess it's in alphabetical order. Well, no, not exactly, but the mini bots. No, it's not alphabetical order. Just Brawn and Bumblebee, Huffer, Cliffjumper, Witchar. But Brawn is number 1. So when you see Brawn, the contest has begun. And you should see Brawn right after my MP44 Optimus Prime Convoy review. So actually, I meant to have it up by now, but I'm a little bit behind. But the rules are, you have to already be a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, you cannot win, no matter what you do. And the deadline is, by the time I review Megatron, the last question will be up, maybe even before then, but the last question will definitely be up by the time I review Megatron. And the first person to answer all 3 questions correctly will win their choice of a Generation 1 Transformer box. And I'll tell you all the ones you can pick from. And then the second place person will pick from the remainder, and the third person, so on and so forth. So contest coming very soon. Please participate. Please join me. And thank you very much for subscribing. Appreciate it. And also, before I get out of here, I just want to give a shout out to a few YouTubers that I really like. Retro Blasting is one of my favorite channels. Only reason he didn't make my top 5 is because I didn't think of him at the time. But Retro Blasting is one of my favorite channels. Also, Anthony Customs. I love Anthony Customs. And D-Mazing Reviews. I love those guys. So, thank you for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews where every toy has a story. And stay tuned to the end. I'm going to do a pan through of my collection. It's out and everywhere. It's not organized. What you see behind me isn't going to be where it's at. I started unboxing, started getting some stuff on the shelf just to see what type of space I had and what I was working with, which is I have nowhere near enough space. So I'm going to have to add some more shelves, and I got some Star Wars stuff over here that's not going to stay here, and Marvel Legends. I just put some stuff out just to look at my shelves and see what I was working with. So enjoy the pan around, and thank you for watching another episode of George Reviews.